working together is, because these guys were not on the same page a couple of years ago.
Not a good contract.
So there you have the 45th president of the United States of America and the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald J. Trump, commenting about Elon Musk. So first and foremost, let's talk about True Social. I have a True Social account. It's at D-Day Cobra. I haven't really posted to it much because they don't have an Android app yet. I think that's a disaster. I don't know if there's a holdup on the Android approval. I have no idea, but as a user for Android is very frustrating. Not an Apple guy, but either way, I will support the platform. And it seems to be doing some pretty good things, but they really need to get that Android app. So if you want to follow me over there, eventually I probably will get more active once they have an app. So pretty happy about with that. The overall landscape of how that looks moving forward. We just need to get the current under control with the Android app. In terms of what he said about Elon Musk, I have no idea what Elon Musk plans on doing with Twitter and all of this. I don't know if he's just doing it for the memes, which I totally respect, by the way. Have no problem with that. And I like when Elon does all of his trolling and everything like that, but he gets a little in over his head, in my opinion, on these comments about Donald Trump. And he responds here to this video. And he says, I don't hate the man, but it's time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset. Dems should also call off the attack. Don't make it so that Trump's only way to survive. So this is Elon says, I don't hate the man, but it's time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset. Dems should also call off the attack. Don't make it so Trump's only way to survive is to regain the presidency. Okay? That I had a big problem with that one, okay? I had a big fucking problem with that response. Survive is to regain the presidency. This is such a tone-deaf comment from someone that generally understands the internet very well. Oh, okay, people. For people telling me that True Social has an app, I'm reacting to a video from 2 years ago, okay? Keep up with the grift, okay? I'm grifting off of myself from 2 years ago. So I know they have an app now, but they didn't at the time I made this video, and understands the optics very well. But when you're going up against someone like Trump, it's clear that Elon knows that it's a formidable opponent for him in whatever respect we're talking about. And there's probably some, egos involved, both sides. I've never said Donald Trump doesn't hurt for ego because the man has a giant ego. Clearly, Elon Musk has an ego as well. Neither one of those things is inherently bad. But when you're talking about the fuck all of you, okay? Fuck all of you. Jeremy, did you know True Social has an app? That's the new meme now. Correct head-to-head connection there. There's clearly some ego involved. Now, as far as Trump sailing off to the sunset, that's a stupid comment because Donald Trump got the most votes for a sitting president ever and increased his votes substantially from the first election. So clearly the man did a good job. But I like this guy, Joe, and his response to Elon Musk, where he says, your response makes no sense.
Yes.
What about his presidency did you have a problem with? Energy independent, lower regulations, lower taxes, just, ISIS pipelines, Russian pipeline stomp, border under control. What on policy did you have an issue with? And of course, Elon Musk cannot answer the question because the only answer is that Donald Trump was a fantastic president. Yeah, too much drama. Too much drama. Too much drama. That's your answer when he specifically asked you on policy what you have. I agree with Jeremy. This Jeremy guy has some really strong points. I got to say, this guy knows his shit. I have an issue with, and your answer is drama with politicians because the mainstream media lied just like they lie about you, Elon. They did the same thing to Donald Trump on a much bigger level. And you're going to be crying about drama. You deal with a lot of what he deals with already. That's really tone deaf on your part. Do we really want a bull in a china shop situation every single day? That's what you are. That's what you are. My goodness, complete lack of self-awareness in this specific situation, which usually he's very good about that. And then he talks about the legal start for a presidential term. So I just responded, Trump greater than Elon, and it's not even close. because it's not close. It's not close at all. And Elon is really stepping into it here, I think. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is a massively popular individual and a very successful man who is he has more money than any of us will ever see in our lifetime. Again, I like Elon Musk a lot, so I don't want this to come off like just because he said something bad about Trump, I automatically am like, oh, F Elon Musk. That's not really it. But if we're taking it based by like in this specific situation, I side with Donald Trump all day, every day. I'll take Donald Trump on his worst day over Elon Musk on his best day. And I stand by that statement as well. Wouldn't even have to think twice about it because I think Donald Trump is far more interested in the future of this country and doing the right things for this country than Elon Musk. It's not to say Elon Musk doesn't have certain things that he's probably interested in. But right now, we even look at the Twitter situation where he said, hey, I'm not doing this for financial gain, but now you're pinpointing it down to bots because you said the market, the social market, the social square,
right,
the public not backing out of it if it is.
Shut the fuck up, Jeremy. There's a point here where I say I hope Elon and Trump can come together, and I think I say it towards the end. But if I would shut the fuck up for a minute, maybe I would get to that point.
Truly, the public square with Donald Trump all day, every day over Elon Musk. Now, will this get better or worse? I don't know. Do I think this is good for either person? No, I don't. I don't think it was necessarily good for either person. So Donald Trump is the one that made the comments, called Elon Musk a bullshit artist. Now, Elon has commented about Trump, but he hasn't really gone totally after him, although he has made some passive aggressive comments about Trump in the past few months. But Trump, calling him a bullshit artist, obviously is going to get a response out of Elon. But ultimately, I don't think this helps either guy right now. But Trump, always the counterpuncher, always will be the counterpuncher. That's who he is, and that's why we love him. That's why we respect him. I still respect Elon Musk, but on this particular topic, all day, every day, I'm siding with Trump. And I hope he gets a lot of blowback over this. I really do. Because Elon Musk is not used to criticizing anyone and getting a ton of clapback.
I'm downvoting this guy. Get to the fucking point sooner, dude. Like, I mean, might as well just start selling coffee brand coffee at this point in time. You're just dragging this shit out. I don't know what the hell. Good Lord.
I think he's going to get a lot of clapback on this one. As a matter of fact, I think I saw Jack in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video.
The point that I thought I was going to make. So, sorry. Situation really happy. So again, I want to recap that this tweet was sent out by Donald Trump. Elon Musk voting for Trump, only way to save democracy. So really happy that these guys are on the same page. Then you had Donald Trump send this tweet out right here. So Kamala Harris puts this out. And I was just briefed on the FEMA, situation, the latest developments about ongoing impacts of Hurricane Helene, blah, 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 blah. Post is 100% fake picture, okay? This is a fake picture. There's nothing. It's a blank piece of paper. This is a staged photo op, all right? Trump retweets her and calls it out right here. Another fake and staged photo from someone who has no clue what she is doing. You have to plug the cord into the phone for it to work. Biden and Harris abandoned Americans in Afghanistan. They sacrificed Americans on an open border, and now they have left Americans to drown in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and elsewhere in the South. Under this administration, Americans always come last because we have leaders who have no idea how to lead. Trump just dude, him being back on Twitter is worth every penny that Elon paid for it, okay? Just having Trump back on Twitter. Did he 100% ratioed the living shit out of her too, dude. Ratioed the hell out of her. I absolutely love it. It's the greatest thing ever. You also have, let me see if I can find it really quickly. See, we've got, is it ALX? I saw tweeted it out. So Trump apparently has started a GoFundMe. Let's see here. It is, let's see if I can find it. Okay. So right now it's already raised over $1 million. Let's see here, right here. GoFundMe started and already over $1 million. Let's freaking go. Donald freaking Trump, man. Like this guy, Donald Trump, what he's doing right now, this is a massive W, dude. Like this is a huge W. The optics right now involved with this, you cannot like he is crushing her right now.
Good.
And you know, tomorrow we have the debate tomorrow. So we have the debate. Keep that in mind. And I that's going to be an absolute shit show, I think, for Tim Walz. Tim Walz is just a very awkward individual. So like just seeing how that's going to play out is my God, I can't wait. And I think JD Vance is going to absolutely destroy him. Yes, Walz is going to get eviscerated. Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be pretty ugly. And here's where was it at? There was one other thing that I was going to show you. Oh, no. That's rough. Machiavelli memes, bro. Bro. I was not prepared to I was not prepared for that one. Holy crap. Oh no. No. That's a J. We got to get a J meme right there out of that one. That's just a no. Where's it at? Oh, no. Holy crap, man. Woo! Internet's rough. Internet is rough. By the way, rest in peace to Pete Rose. Pete Rose, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, passed away in his 80s, if I'm not mistaken. So in his 80s. So rest in peace
what are you trying to build
to the great Pete Rose. Holy crap. If this isn't the most accurate thing I've ever seen. Tim Walz entering
Sammy
campaign
Lammy
events.
Chicken strips is too young for politics, dog.
That's exactly how
Sammy
how he
Lammy
is.
Chicken strips. He's too young for politics, dog. Look at your fucking YouTube chat.
If you've seen Tim Walz at any events, dude, this dude is unhinged, man. He's absolutely unhinged. Woo! Goodness, I swear. There's a lot to it's just I don't know how awkward he's going to be tomorrow. I anticipate him being very awkward. I anticipate JD Vance just walking in there and calmly and systematically destroying him. And I think it's going to be a pretty brutal beat down. That's what I'm expecting anyway. But I will be live to cover that. Now, if you missed it earlier today, right here, this was Donald Trump talking about the Elon Musk story right here. So
homes, hospitals, highways, and cars have been plunged underwater. Entire neighborhoods have been turned into lakes. Nobody's seen anything like it. And to every family that's been displaced here in Georgia and North Carolina, which has really been hit. We were going there also, and they don't have communication. They don't have anything right now. We're trying to. I just spoke to Elon. I'm getting him. We want to get Starlink hooked up because they have no communication whatsoever. And Elon will always come through. And we know that. And so we're working on that, getting them hooked up. They asked me whether or not that would be possible. We're going to try and get the Starlink in there as soon as possible because they have no communication. And throughout the region, our hearts are with you. And we are going to be with you as long as you need. It's called
Holy
an
fuck,
hour of
that was
need.
loud,
You're
man.
in our prayers, and we pray to God. And throughout this the long weeks that lay ahead, you're going to have a lot of work, but the end result is it's going to be good. We just wish so many people weren't so badly hurt, and in many
Shut up. I can barely fucking hear you, dude. Fix your fucking mic. Sound like you're under fucking water, man.
cases, sadly, no longer with us.
That's the dream team right there. That's the ticket. That's the unbeatable ticket right there. So I love seeing those guys working together, and that's going to be hard to for the Democrats to overcome, especially when this clown right here is saying stuff like this right here.
Yes, it's tragic. Matter of fact, we're trying to get the exact number. My FEMA advisor is on the ground in Florida right
You have
now.
a dual monitor set up?
There's a distinction between the numbers that FEMA's use and the ones that are used by the locals. So it really is amazing. You saw the photographs. It's stunning. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Setting up dual monitors.
Such a wide area. And
Yeah.
given them all everything that we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet.
Nope, no more resources, ladies and gentlemen. There is no more. Joe Biden says you're done. There's no more resources. We need to focus on Ukraine, everybody. So we're not going to be able to, give you any more resources. This is a terrible, terrible administration. My goodness, man. Like and then I listen, I hate to do it. Okay. Cause I love my audience, but it's necessary for everyone to hear this once again. The literal word salad that this woman says. This is so bad. This is so bad.
From a show to a whole entire company, what is your economic plan moving forward for people who are living paycheck to paycheck and struggling for groceries and rent and homeowners?
So look, I grew up. So my sister and I were raised by our mother. We lived for a long time in an apartment on top of a child care center. That child care center was actually owned by a woman who lived 2 doors down from us, Mrs. Shelton, who was
What monitors are they?
by all of our accounts and feelings.
Just want to be clear. She still hasn't answered the question. Now, the reason I show you this, and I'm not going to make you sit through the whole thing because it's absolutely horrible. But if you actually go to the video over on YouTube, it's bad. Let me see if I can do default view.
No, like monitors,
right here.
Monitors.
Look at the ratio. Look at the ratio. 145,000 views in 12 hours. Okay, 145,000 views in 12 hours. 18,000 downvotes, ladies and gentlemen. Ratioed to hell. Ratioed to hell. Look at that. 18,000 to 11,000. Everybody hates her. Nobody likes her. Nobody likes this woman, okay? She's an incredibly unlikable person. And this video, like if that was Trump, it would already be at 1 million views. and it would have like a 98% like to dislike ratio. How do you see downvotes? I have the YouTube dislike extension. So it's a Chrome extension. If you just go into Google and type in YouTube or return YouTube dislike button. Now, just to be clear, the YouTube dislike button is not 100% accurate. It's fairly accurate. It's fairly accurate, but it's definitely not 100%. But it gives you an understanding of how the overall video is being perceived, and even I'm matching it up to some of my videos. The numbers they're not, I would say, like 75, 80% on target for the most part, but this video has 100% been ratioed, 100%. So yeah, so the return YouTube dislike button, Google Chrome extension is how you can get that. But yeah, so she's done. Nobody likes her. Everybody, she's just, this is the same thing that happened with Joe Biden. Remember when Joe Biden, now remember the dislike button was there in the beginning, and the White House kept getting ratioed. Now, I think that there was some Hollywood involvement and everything like that, but it was the White House kept getting ratioed over and over and over again. This is supposed to be the most popular president in the history of our country. That's what we were told, the most popular president in the history of our country. Okay. And just mass dislikes every single time. By the way, somebody said PSN is down globally. What? PlayStation Network is down globally right now? Damn. Is that for real? Yeah, Joe Biden's the most popular. He's the most popular, though. He's definitely the most popular president of all time. Man, PSN is down. Are they saying anything about
What'd
it?
you have for dinner?
Wow. Well, there you go. I wonder what's going on with PlayStation Network right now.
Good.
They're going to blame it on Russia? What is this right here? All right. I'm looking to see if there was another story that I wanted to talk about. Okay, here we go. So a lot of the Kelly R for 50. A normal president would have said, we will take care of every citizen devastated by this horrendous storm and then some. 1,000%. The fact that Joe Biden's response was, no, we've given all the resources. We're good. I'm like, what? No, we're not good. We're not good at all. So yeah, it was an embarrassing statement, but it's a necessary statement. We need Biden to continue to show how out of touch with reality he is. He needs to keep making these statements. Kamala needs to keep with these word salad statements while Trump is being the leader that America needs. That's what we need. We need to continue that path right there. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that. Troy News says, are you aware of this Eastport strike happening tonight at midnight? This could be the October surprise, and it affects could be devastating on top of the recent Hurricane Helene. No, I haven't heard about that. Eastport strike. I'll have to look that up. I have not heard about that. Veronid for 20 says, for the cause. Thank you, Veronid. Thank you. I appreciate that. Some people are saying PSN is down. Others are saying it's not down. So let's see. John Jones says, did you see Congressman Maxwell Frost, a.k.a. Frosty the Snowflake, used the hurricane to chest thump about climate change? I didn't see that in particular, but that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. McCutter says, I fixed my pick, LOL. Accident Seller says, we need a new term for TDS. It sounds too mild now. Yeah, it has, like, TDS is kind of taken like the next level. So Olympian Product says, Jeremy, did you see the giant naked statue of Trump in Las Vegas? Loves it's supposedly going to tour the country. Oh yeah, I saw it.
How was your day?
It's just like the God Emperor Trump thing. I mean, that's different in some ways, but it's like, do they think that somebody's going to see that and go, I was a Trump supporter, but they made a giant naked statue of Trump, so I can't vote for Trump? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Just unplug and plug back in your mic.
You're literally just going to make the people that that hate Trump happy, but you're not going to convince anybody to stop supporting Trump now. Like, it's a weird dynamic with these freaks. But hey, it is what it is. Laughing Man for 50. Laughing Man for 50. Holy crap. He asked me earlier, he says, you going live tonight? I was like, yes, sir, Laughing Man. Sent me a $500 super chat. I'll go live whenever the fuck you tell me to go live.
Here.
Swig of water for the working man, for the Laughing Man. Thank you
That's
so
the kind of
much.
monitor I'm getting.
Look at the
That's what I
gifties
got.
flying in the chat. Chat going crazy.
Phillips.
Nandy says the Elon aren't
I got
on
2 of them.
par with Vegeta's. William Wells says,
I
have you
got,
seen the Trump movie
I'm trying to
trailer? It
do
looks
is,
bad.
hold
I
on.
saw like one clip and then I was done. Eric K says, we
Do
are
you
the
see what's on the
199 support
box?
of our favorite gay streamer, Jeremy the Fig. Dr. Gallatin says, chat, which Jeremy is more gay? 1 for the current, 2 for the past.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna mount them.
Accident Seller says, what do Trump think of Jeremy reacts to Jeremy reacts
So that's
to
what
Trump?
I'm trying to set up. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if is that the new meta? Do I just need to react to all of my old content now? Is that what I need to do? Just roast myself? Because that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to roast myself. Is that how yours is? That. Firefox says, have you tried scrolling any more videos, Fig? They're doing it again. Says, whatever, right? You know it has an app. Oh, my God. Horny Alp says, how did I end up in a gay pride stream? Who is this pre-cut pants and croc wearing Fig? Jared Armstrong says, politics is WWE. Of course, there's drama. They're doing it again. Says, Jeremy, is that the gay guy we're watching? Alan Tanassi says, Bama won, so face reveal on my pick. Oh, yeah. Alan Tanassi, look at there. He put the bet out there, not me. Alan scanning in. I can't really see the pick that well. But is that me? It probably is me. I don't know. But thank you, Alan. Thank you, brother. Crazy Clown Town says, be careful. This Jeremy guy might claim this reaction. If he does, you can say your channel is under attack by a gay croc-wearing Fig. Dude, I should strike my own channel and then make a video about how my channel is under attack. There's levels to this grift, okay? There's levels to this grift. I see MCU fan in the chat. The Under Armour Gamer says, this Jeremy guy seems sped. Just kidding. LOL 199. You guys are
I already
AOE,
started. I can't fucking
freaks
just
is for the
leave this.
cause. Sorry, copied previous person. LOL. You are not going to upset me. I endorse people copying super chats every time. I'm okay with that. All right. I have no problem with that. Thomas Gilkey says, much love, man. Final night in Nashville. Keep being amazing. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, Thomas. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having fun in Nashville. Alexander for 10 says, been following D-Day channel and Geeks and Gamers since 2018. Love your content. Also, massive OU fan. Can't wait for the OU Bama game so I can talk trash. You have a great team this year. Congrats on the big win. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. Look, and maybe it's just because I'm not going to go too far down the sports rabbit hole. We have a sports wars channel for that. Okay. But I'm not ready just to go Bama's like the top team in the country. I'm just not. And maybe because I have PTSD because Nick Saban left. I'm very happy with what I've seen so far, but I'm taking it week to week. I am not overly confident right now. I'm not. Look at that. 10 gifted memberships from Stormbringer. Let's freaking go. Man, thank you. That's a lot of gifties tonight. Lots of gifties are flying, so we appreciate that. The chat appreciates it too, as always. Mark of Reality says, have you heard about the longshoreman strike that starts tomorrow? If Biden orders a cooling off period, he'll be busting the union and lose Michigan. If he doesn't, then more inflation and people will starve. Is that what Troy News was talking about earlier? That'll be listen, right now, they got big problems.
Yeah, did you
okay?
think of an answer to that question problems. I asked you? Yep. Damn.
Donald Trump's out here looking like a leader.
Just
Donald Trump
when
is
you see
taking
them like
initiative.
from day to
The
day,
American
like,
people are
like how
looking
do
to
you deal
Donald
with it?
Trump
Damn.
to, give them hope. You got Elon Musk bringing Starlink in. You've got all this stuff going on. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, she just looks like an idiot. Joe Biden looks like a senile old man. Momentum is building right now, okay? Momentum is building.
It's all chalk.
But we still got 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks ago, whatever it is. Don't get complacent. Don't think that it's over, because it's not. This is going to be a scary, scary 5 weeks. I'm actually legitimately nervous. And I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate the support in the chat. There's a lot of freaking gifted memberships flying right now. I can't even keep up. Don't try to overwhelm me. We haven't done that in a while. Even with having like one of the biggest super chatted channels. Y'all haven't overwhelmed me in a while, okay? Don't try it tonight. That one guy says Walls is the left's ideal man if beta cuck weirdo is the idea. That is very true. That is very true.
Okay. I know he's like some old white guy, right? Amazing.
Yeah, somebody says
I
it's
haven't
not over
actually
until it's
seen
over.
what he
That's
looks
100%
like, but
true.
I could
It's
just
not.
imagine that he
Spiderfinger says
probably looks like
Elon
a
had
tough
his
man.
side picked for him when the cult took his child from him. Makes sense when you say it like that, huh? Fuck the cult, vote Trump.
Yep.
I agree completely.
Pretty much, right?
Shadow Sand says this guy sounds like he wears Crocs, and the worst thing is he probably thinks they're cool. John Yarber says True Social just announced streaming on the site 199. Did they really? I can't even tell if that's a joke after all the other jokes that I've had. Nandy says, damn, that Jeremy guy was bad. May as well hear Gary's animal organs ad read. This chat is off the charts right now. What the hell is happening? Nightmare says, yeah, many Trump vlog re-uploads are on YouTube. Fantastic vs. Knox says, hail and scanning in. Just read that the Republican who has a part in the design of Project 2025 just endorsed Kamala Harris. That doesn't surprise me at all. Grand Potato says, Jeremy has reached peak griftception. Jerry D. Sills becomes a new member. Thank you. John Goat says, going to Butler, PA, rally on 10-5.
Okay. Well, one of them just looks like a zigzag line. And then how did you do the other one? I guess then that one. Yeah, that one looks better. Oh, shit.
Born and raised. I'll be covering it, baby. I'll be covering it. Eric K says, will Walls have the questions before or not? Fact check as well. We all know. I just wonder how they will give him the Bluetooth earrings. He's so awkward, it's going to make it look bad anyway. Kelly R says, Elon owning Starlink warms my heart. Horny Alf says, Biden is still alive. Love Dog says, we thought Trump would eviscerate Harris in the debate. Didn't happen. If fake news is hosting, I fear it will be the same ultra biased circus again. Yeah, I mean, I think he won the debate, but I don't think that he destroyed her because she had too much protection from the mainstream. Nick Brown says the only ones hyped about Kamala are the media and the status quo politicians. Mitchell Field says PlayStation down again. PC master race. No. Nintendo master race. Okay, Nintendo master race. That's the master race. Nintendo. Okay. That's your master race. End of discussion right there. To be fair, you don't, in our reality, you don't need a PlayStation or an Xbox. You only need a Nintendo Switch and a PC. Like, that's the reality of the situation. You just need a Switch and a PC. And if you do that, you're covered. You're covered. Because PlayStation and Xbox are becoming irrelevant. They are kind of becoming irrelevant. You don't really need one or the other. And that's the truth of it. And I know that there's like, listen, I prefer playing on consoles, but the way that things are going with PlayStation, like if you're on a budget as a gamer, there is absolutely no reason to buy a PlayStation and an Xbox. There's just not. If you're going to have, you might as well just buy a PC at that point in time. Get a PC and a Switch and you're good. Because the way, especially with the PS5 Pro and all the stuff that Sony's doing right now, and of course, fuck Xbox. All right. I hate Microsoft anyway. But that's really the way to go. But we're not going to turn this to a gaming stream. I do enough of those. Mr. K says, did you see how ShamWow guy made a YouTube video skit and supports Trump? It's called HamWow199. Thanks for the gifty. The ShamWow guy? Is he still alive? The Blob Union. I swear if Vance walks into the debate with we're the coolest guys on the side of town, he wins by default. The Bob that God made says, any explanation on why Verizon was down nationwide? It was creepy, but makes one appreciate radios again. I didn't hear any explanation. Joe Johnson with 10 gifted memberships. Stormbringer with 10 more gifted memberships. Flag Ninja with 5 gifted memberships. ShamWow guy died. I thought the ShamWow guy died. I was pretty sure he did. If I'm not mistaken. John Ambler with 10 gifted memberships. Holy crap. War Breer with 5 gifted memberships. What the heck, man? You guys are insane. What the heck's happening? Joe Johnson with 5 more and Stormbringer with 10 more. Wow. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. A little bit. Not yet. We're not completely yet. Okay. I'm a trained professional. Okay. Black Kane says Elon hating SJW attacks my channel. Icon Bearer says shameless recruitment plug for the Raid Shadow Legends clan, the I.199. Dude, I will take a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship right now. All right. I will take a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. I do have a line. I did turn down a huge sponsorship from Better Fucking Help. Listen, if you see anybody running Better Help sponsorships, just understand they're getting paid a fuck ton of money because they offered me a lot of money and I turned them down because I couldn't sponsor Better Help. I couldn't do it. But I will 100% take a Raid Shadow Legends. All right. I will take a Raid Shadow Legends. Better Help. Fuck Better Help. All right. I mean, they offered me a lot of money for only like a few ad reads. It's crazy. So I see bigger YouTubers than me and I see them promoting Better Help. And I'm like, I know you got double or triple what I fucking was offered. I know you did. And that's a lot of money. I mean, it was like $5,000. It's like $5,000. Like, where do you have this money? Where does BetterHelp get this money? Where they can pay some douchebag like me $5,000 to read off of a fucking script a couple of times? There's no way they're going to get the turnaround on that. I don't understand it. It's a huge scam. It's a massive scam. But yeah. But I see bigger YouTubers are like, I want to talk to you about today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. As we know, we all need a little help sometime, and the professionals at BetterHelp can really help you out. Fuck off. All right? It's a massive, massive, massive scam. That's all it is. Let's see. Uber driver of the apocalypse says a new possible outro I sent to your ex DMs. Watch. I will check it out. Eric Heffelfinger says FEMA Goal 1 equity disaster relief based on race, their new standard procedure. This is why Trump has to win. Among many other things. Hit by a dump truck says, keep up the good work, man. Haha. What is this profile picture? Holy crap. Oh, man. Joey for 10 says, Jeremy, I don't know if it's on my end or YouTube, but sometimes you don't show up on my notification when you go live. You didn't show up this morning on your live. Yeah, that's why I always say try to follow me on Twitter and Kick and on Rumble just to have different levels of notifications, because YouTube is very hit or miss with notifications. Happens to me for channels that I follow. So I totally understand. That's why I always tell people, just follow me. Even if you're not active on those platforms, just follow me there, turn notifications on. So you know that I'm live. You know what I mean? Jason Cole with 5, get the memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Love Dog says, MCU fan is demanding people stop gifties, LOL. Is he still here? It's about time we saw you, MCU fan. I was wondering where you were. You know what? I was worried. I was worried. I was worried the MCU fan actually like touched a woman like in real life, and that's why he wasn't here. And then, so that's what you have to understand. Every time you see MCU fan in the chat, just understand that he still has not touched a woman in real life. That's why he's here in the chat. And so just take some happiness with that. You're like, you still haven't touched the woman. You're here in the chat. So that's how you have to look at it. Laughing Man says he hugged Krista. Listen, I don't want to break I don't want to break the illusion here, but I told Krista, like, if you're okay with it, you should probably like hug him with a lot of people around just to make sure that you're safe, but also just to kind of keep him like some hope alive. So sorry, MCU fan. It was all orchestrated. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. So Shell the Third says, seriously, why has no one said anything about the Verizon outage today? My personal phone was down, but not my work phone, which is sus AF. Yeah, I truly don't know. Like, I mean, I had no problems in my area here in Florida. I know that there was a nationwide, it was reported that it was nationwide. Okay. But I had no issues. I saw the Quartering had tweeted out. Quartering said that he had problems. I personally had no issues. I'm not sure if did the Dolphins finally score? Hopefully the Dolphins scored. Holy crap. Look at this. We got some video to show you guys. Hang on. All right, let's see here. Let's switch gears for just a minute here. So right here, Hurricane Helene death toll has risen to over 130 as survivors in Western North Carolina describe it seeing bodies stuck in trees. What did I say? What did I say? I said that, hang on. I'm getting a message. So is this like, okay. All right. Sorry. I had a thing pop up for business. So anyway, I said when this hurricane came in that people don't understand how serious this is. So we had all types of problems. We had People saying like, "Oh, it's not that serious. It's fear tactics." Dude, listen. As someone that lives in the state of Florida that's been through these things for a long time, don't fuck around with hurricanes, man. And even when you get inland, you have to worry about this stuff. This is serious shit. All right. You can't be a hero when it comes to Mother Nature. You can't do it. So right here, this is some of the issues right here. Look at this.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm assuming, wow, this is like a freaking war zone. This is like a war zone. And this is in North Carolina. So this is far inland. So it's one thing to be right there on the coast. That's bad enough. But like these are inland.
Oh, Jesus. Let me fucking set this shit.
Holy crap. What? Bro, like, this is crazy. And we've got systems moving, like there's another 2 or 3 systems that could be potential storms that are going to end up near the Gulf or in the Gulf here in the next week or two. So you've got to keep an eye out for this stuff. And it's just, you've got to stay on top of this. It's why there are people like, Ryan Hall. That's I think the dude's just changing the game when it comes to, weather coverage on YouTube. Then you got Max Velocity. And this is serious stuff, man. This is life-changing, life-altering stuff. Goodness gracious. That's absolutely horrible. But I hope that, and this is why you need a real leader in the position of president of the United States. Donald Trump is actually on the ground, actually trying to help these people. And he's nothing but I would guess he would be considered a private citizen right now, is all Donald Trump is. I mean, I know he's the nominee. I know he's the front runner. I know he's a former president, but he has no real power in the government right now. So he has no actual power. And yet he's out here making a difference. Making a difference. Insane. So very scary stuff. Very scary stuff indeed. All right. Let's see here. Where's it at? Teresa Young says the longshoremen are going on strike will kill our economy. In the 80s, Reagan had to stop it after 3 days. Biden said he won't. This is very serious MAGA. Well, I mean, at this point, Biden and Harris can continue to destroy any chance that they have if that's what they want to do. But the thing is the day that Donald Trump becomes the president elect, he's going to start making changes then, not official stuff, but it's just like right now, you see what he's doing. So the moment that Trump is president elect, the game will be changed. Lewis R says, hit me up. Krista says Simpy clearly isn't interested. Bilbo Swaggin says, these ports are going on strike is also going to affect car manufacturers on top of the groceries and the pharmacies. I'm going to look into this. If you guys can throw me a couple of videos that I can check out on Twitter, whether you throw it in my DMs and just because if I don't answer the DMs, I get like the DM requests. I see everything that you guys send. I try to stay on top of that stuff. So 3 says, whose job it is to negotiate with longshoremen? Pistol Pete butt plug. Oh, to be a fly on that wall. Force Geek says, I assure I'm assuming you're using StreamYards. How do you have your window not showing the upper search bar area? Do you have it cropped that way? Um, let's see. You're not showing the upper search bar area. So you're talking about like the Google addresses and stuff like that. So you can choose how you want to share your screen. There's 3 different ways you can share it. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, Chrome always freezes up on me, so I can't stop sharing and then reshare. I have to already share my screen. But yeah, there's a way where you're just capturing the actual screen and not the entire window. So that's all it is. So just don't capture the entire window. Just capture what screen you're sharing. That's all. Mark of Reality says it's going to be scary after the election. They're going to try and punish the American people for rejecting them. It's going to get even weirder. Agreed. Luis R says Walls makes Jeremy look straight. That's rough, bro. Fantastic Mr. Knox says Tim Walls might need to wear a pair of lifts to stand a chance in the debate. Just ask Ron DeSantis. Guy looks short. Flag Ninja says tell MCU fan he still owes Krista a new hat after that awkward hug. Chris Swain says PC Master Race, screw Bama and Hamburger Helper tastes like crap. Yet I'm still here supporting this fig. What the fuck is wrong with me? Do not disrespect Hamburger Helper. I'm tired of saying it. And I'm not saying it anymore. Okay? There will be no Hamburger Helper slander in my chat. Thank you for the super chat. Eric A says MCU fan is a simp. He is the hugest simp. He makes simps look like other simps. When you look up simp, you see his face. Jonathan says, Hail Jeremy, been following you since 2017. Hoping Bama can pull off all the way this year. If Trump is victorious, which agencies should he eliminate? I don't think he's going to eliminate any agencies altogether. I think he's just going to rebuild them from the ground up or put people in place. I don't see him getting rid of any agencies. I just don't see him doing it. Stream Hero says new ShamWow vid is real. React to it, fig. Stop calling me names. Okay, my chat never calls me names. So we've obviously got some trolls in here because my chat would never call me names. Kelly R says, y'all got a few bucks. Send it to the Samaritan's purse. They do good work on the ground. Prayers to all. Thank you, Kelly R. Appreciate you. Lady Aaron D says, we had a 100-year flood here in Rhode Island in 2010. 4 foot of water in my house, lost everything I owned. Prayers to all of those impacted by Helene. Well, I am sorry to hear that. I know it was a while back, but that's still terrible to hear. It's brutal, but I'm glad that you've recovered clearly and we got you back. So, but prayers to everybody involved for sure. Kenneth becomes a new member. Thank you, Kenneth. And then Laughing Man again with the 50 gifted memberships. Insane. Vlad says, I'm going to bed. Well, good night. Good night. Laughing Man is making fun of me again, and I don't appreciate it. I just want to make that clear, okay? Please don't make fun of me. I'm a very sensitive streamer, and my social battery is running very low, and I would appreciate if you guys just were nice to me and sent me money and allowed me to have money and not be mean. It's going to get clipped. It's going to be on drama alert. Look at this streamer telling his chat he's got to give him money. And then like everybody's going to be screaming, holy crap. I can't play that. I can't play that. A Sydney Sweeney gift just was across my, just ran across my feed, but I can't play it. It's really good though. Okay, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? You like this Cybertruck right here? Cybertruck. There we go. What do you think about that one? All right. I think that's. I think this is just this is like a AI or something like that. But that's like one of the best looking Cybertrucks I've had. All right. If I would I buy a Cybertruck if I had the money? No. I wouldn't. Like they're cool, I guess, but I wouldn't buy one. I would not own a Cybertruck. I don't think I'm ever going to own a Tesla ever. I don't think it's not my style. Just Tesla's not my thing. So I don't think I'm ever going to own one. I would just I mean I'm happy with, you know, I'm happy with my vehicles anyway, but I don't think I'll ever own a Tesla. I've never driven a Tesla. So I don't know. People love them, but I'm never gonna get comfortable with like my vehicle driving me. I'm never gonna get comfortable with that. I'm never gonna feel comfortable with my vehicle driving me, and then suddenly like what? Because I didn't return my library books, my car is gonna drive me to the fucking library and make me pay or something like that. Like I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It feels a lot like Demolition Man. So I just that's scary as fuck. It's scary that your car can drive you wherever it wants to drive you. It's terrifying. So I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I'll just keep my hands on the wheel and I'll keep going where I want to go. Look at this right here. CNN is upset. CNN is upset. And this is what we love right here.
He is being treated not just as a former president, but almost as though he is a sitting president. As Boris, you just noted, getting a briefing from FEMA,
So they're mad. So CNN is mad because Trump is being treated like a sitting president. Maybe because he's the only one acting like a sitting president. The fact that you're mad about this shows how much you hate the American people. CNN is more angry that Trump is being treated like the sitting president than the fact that your sitting president doesn't even know where the fuck he's at. One more time. Let's listen to all of it.
he is being treated not just as a former president, but almost as though he is a sitting president. As Boris, you just noted, getting a briefing from FEMA, getting a briefing from the National Guard. That is not something that is typically just offered to a candidate. They are treating him as though he is a former president who is there to help. And one thing that I had noticed earlier during our 1 p.m. conversation was that Donald Trump did not have that much to offer in terms of resources since he is not a sitting president. But I will note that he and the campaign say that they have arrived in that area with trucks full of supplies that they plan on giving out. So they're
Dude. I despise the mainstream media, dude. I despise them. Going through a hurricane, and I will never act like I've been through anything remotely close than what some of these people are dealing with right now, because I haven't. I've dealt with power outages and a few trees knocked over in my front yard, okay? And having your power knocked out for several days sucks. I don't remember how long our power was out during Hurricane Opal. I don't know. But that is a good pause. Listen, okay, there we go. All right, so we're just gonna leave it there. All right, we're just gonna leave it there. But having your power out for several days and not having any answers or anything like that, it's very demoralizing. You're nervous. You're scared. Donald Trump just showing up and putting more attention on the situation is a huge, huge win for the people in these areas. That's all people are looking for, is to be acknowledged and to go, at least someone knows what we're going through. That's all. That's all people care. That's all they need right now. They're dealing with a lot and they don't have a lot of answers. They're completely overwhelmed. Their entire lives have been destroyed. And Donald Trump is taking time to come there and show them that, hey, we're on top of things. We're supporting you. We've got your back. And if Trump is there, then guess what? Everybody else is going to be paying attention to it because Trump is there. In fact, and I'm not moving off of that screen, by the way. I'm just not. So we'll just, let's see here. We'll just leave it on there. I'll just leave it there. We need to use that for a thumbnail or something. So instead of so this right here, like just this visual right here of Donald Trump in the area, this right here makes people happy. Just seeing him.
Oh, fucking God. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay.
There you go. I mean, just him being there means the world to people. That's a really good thumbnail. Hang on just a minute. Hang on. Here we go. There you go. This is CNN. So there you go right there. It's a good pause. It's a good pause. So It's fantastic. And then there was another video of President Trump, a true leader. Absolutely. Look at this. This was in Valdosta, Georgia, when Trump showed up. This is the people. These people's entire areas were destroyed, and yet they're happy because Trump is there. Get back to work. And you know there's going to be a lot of these leftists out there that are going to be like oh well he's only doing this so he can get the votes. Yeah, he's only doing his fucking job. Yeah. Oh man, you really got Trump that time. He's only doing his job because he wants to continue to do his job. It's so insane, man. All right, we're gonna listen to the rest of this now that we got our screenshots.
Hey, Brock.
There is something there for them to offer. He also said
Well,
that he had a
what's
tanker truck full of gasoline, which obviously, if
the
you've ever
benefit you've
covered one of
noticed
these
of
storms,
having
you
two
understand that one of the
monitors
first things
as
and
opposed to
hardest
just
things
one?
to come by is gasoline. So he said that he was going to be giving that out. He is clearly taking this seriously as a politician is on the ground trying to show that.
Yeah. Hmm.
that he is
Hmm.
there in support of the people on the ground in Georgia.
Dude, like the fact that they're trying to find something wrong with what Trump is doing is the stupidest thing ever. It's the stupidest thing ever. So good Lord.
He is being treated not just as a former president, but almost as though he is a sitting president.
And that's how it should be right there. He should be treated as the sitting president because he's the only one that's actually willing to do the job. Fuck CNN. All right. The fact that he's being attacked because he's helping people. That's the mainstream media for you right there. Good Lord, man. Absolutely crazy. What is wrong with these people? These memes are fantastic. Hey, look at that, man. That's pretty cool. WWE honoring Pete Rose. WWE Hall of Famer Pete Rose. So rest in peace to the great Pete Rose, man. I can't believe it. 80-something years old, I guess. So yeah, rest in peace to a legend, an absolute legend. All right, so then we got this one right here.
Asheville, among the hardest hit. Asheville, among the hardest hit tonight, remains largely cut off from relief, frustrating residents.
Nobody's going to help us. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do.
Do you have any faith in the federal response here?
No.
Ricky and Devonna Brown's auto shop has been in this location for 30 years.
It's just devastating. I mean, it's just hard to see. I mean, it's just hard to come and look at. You know what I mean? This is your whole life right here. And it's this old building to somebody. But to us, this is our life.
Asheville.
Like a storm came through there and destroyed these people's livelihoods, destroyed everything. And the crazy thing is, dude, this literally could be me in a week or two, depending on where these storms go. I don't think anything's gonna be quite as bad as this one was, but it could. It could. That storm almost hit me. I got very lucky. So just awful, terrifying to say the least. Let's see. Justin says, I'm still at work. Well, we appreciate it. Swig of water for the working man, okay? Swig of water for the working man. Troy New says, you might never own a Tesla car, but will you ever own a Tesla Optimus bot that takes care of all of your house chores and more? Probably not. I can't see myself owning anything like that. I just can't do it. No, I just can't see it, man. Firefolks says, the greatest lie Jeremy has ever told us. If my library book is overdue, you've never been into a library, let alone an overdue book. Oh, man. Brock! For 50 gifted memberships. What? Brock F5 the chat. Or an F50, I guess is right. Yeah, you did say it right. An F50. That's what we're going to say from now on when Brock drops these 50s. Brock is F50ing the chat, okay? F50. Laughing Man drops 50. Brock drops 50. All you other mad lads dropping gifted memberships. Good Lord, man. Unbelievable. Ace Ventura's 22 says, it's wrong that he's doing the job the current stewards won't do. CNN is full of figs, 100%. Nick Brown says, the face you make when you don't believe your own BS. Woodaman says, that's the face Jeremy makes when he puts on his Crocs. Roblox head Leslie Headland says, I live in Valdosta area. It's a third world country. Damn. Valdosta's not that far from me. Nick Brown says, that face Krista makes when MCU fan tries to hug her. Eric K says, Biden will do nothing. He did nothing for the people of Hawaii. He does not care about Americans. That is true. He does not care about Americans. Ball 95 says, saw the body massage man was busy cleaning up power lines down by the hurricane. John Wiskin says, I got back from Portland. You and Tommy would totally love it there. The original Guile actor was not from the movie. He was actually from the Japanese commercial promoting the Genesis game. He was ripped. Nice. That's pretty cool that he was from the commercial from the promoting the Genesis game. That's pretty cool, actually. Vol 95 says Jeremy is younger. Trump is younger than Jeremy and more athletic than Beardo. Johnny Whiskey says, I got to tell you something funny. I was eating with friends at Wendy's and explaining a friend how Kick doesn't have bits like Twitch. I accidentally said Kick doesn't have the bitch. We was laughing. JD Corey says, in gay stereo, LOL. And drama, Elon has so many baby mamas and AH is funny. Where's Mark Cuban? People are wanting Mark Cuban to buy Twitter because apparently Twitter's lost a ton of value or some shit like that. I don't know. JD Corey says, I got that one. Lord of the Rings says, people give this retard money. Me? Yeah. Johnny Whiskey says, are you planning on any personal meetups on Saturday evening after the Space Con? I may just come in Saturday and Sunday, but I want my trip to be worth it. I want to spend some time with you and the gang. Probably not. I am going to be the Space Con thing. I'm going to be very, very my schedule is going to be very tight because that's like a week from the election. So if I'm not doing something that's already pre-planned, I'm going to be at my hotel recording and covering election stuff. So that's all I'm going to be doing. So no, I'm not going to be doing any extra stuff because that's like the end of October, and that puts us like a week out from the election. So it's going to be fucking crazy. It's going to be crazy. Bronson I says, hail Cover Commander, hail Snake Pit, and the Fighting 199. God bless the Orange Crusader. Uniparty so corrupt. Ukraine gets $8 billion. Israel gets $8 billion, and the damn hurricanes stuck land. Vault 95 says, what service is down? My PlayStation is working perfectly fine. Physical media supremacy. Yeah, nice. And yeah, I know everybody's yelling at me because apparently no party animals was tonight. It's because we had a lot of people that just could not make it last second, so we didn't have enough people to fill out a lobby. So that is why. So that's why that's the message I was responding to live. As Krista's sick. We've got a couple other people that are not feeling well or had some other things pop up. So that's why. So that's, I know everybody's yelling at me, and you blame me like I'm the leader of Geeks and Gamers. It's not my responsibility. Joe Biden taught me that I don't have to take responsibility for the thing I'm in charge of. That's what Joe Biden said. But in all reality, yeah, that's on me. So my apologies. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to watch. But you were always on my mind. Jeremy solo Fortnite stream. I played ranked the other day, and now I've played ranked, and now I'm up to like a gold, and I'm getting fucking wrecked in these ranked lobbies now. Like, because I kept playing, and yeah, now I'm getting smoked because I'm like really in there with like good people now, and I'm getting wrecked. It's bad. It's bad. Karnak says that you should look up the Sky News Australia, how they destroy your current leaders. Hail the 199 IDOTs. I like Sky News. Sky News is actually a really good YouTube channel and network. I've always liked Sky News. They actually do a really good job. Really balanced. I mean, I would say Sky News might be better than any United States mainstream outlet. Based on what I've seen. Now, I don't watch them religiously or anything like that, but let's see here. Look at this. Quartering quote tweets and says, literally, what has anyone corroborated? Hurricane Helene update. 60 bodies just found hanging in trees in Mitchell County.
Don't you just love when you install the mount upside down?
What's up with that? I don't think I believe.
Oh my fucking God.
That. Military to take over airports.
Nice, dude.
Water will be out in 30 days. No internet. Only iHeartRadio is being broadcast.
Yeah,
what?
And just have the fucking logo be upside down all the time, right?
That. Water is racist. that is. Let's see. Your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Try sharing your screen or restart the browser. So I can't share my audio now. We're all out of luck on that one. We're all out of luck. Unseen Dimension says, thank you for being straight, cool, and not retarded. That's how you insult Jeremy, you figs. What the fuck? I was really thrown off by your comment at first. Thank you for being straight, cool, and not retarded. That is a very offensive thing that you just said to me. Please don't do that again. Can we get back to our regularly scheduled program of insulting me, please? I don't like that. I don't like compliments. I like to be roasted and disrespected, okay? User says, I'd love to be wrong, but Trump's not going to win. Well, I think you're going to be wrong. But I respect where you're coming from. I was really thrown off by that. Like when you, I legitimately don't like being complimented, even in IRL. Like, I don't like when my people on my team compliment me or friend. I don't like it. I don't like compliments. Compliments are super fucking gay. So I reject all compliments if I can help it. They're not. I don't like it. Jeremy, you're such a great guy. Fuck off. Call me names. Say something bad about me, but please don't compliment me. Okay. That's just a way to do it. Vex's Fear says Jeremy has really nice hair. Well, now I know you're lying. I know you're lying now. I really want to. All right, hang on. All right, I may have to. I'm going to share my screen again, okay? But I'm going to put the BRB. It could be chat is takeover. It's a 50-50.
No, none really. Just listening to my own stuff.
fact.
We're talking as if Israel hadn't tried 5 times already to create a state. That's how we're talking here. So what happened in Oslo? In Oslo,
Yes, because it's
the
not
West
true. They
Bank,
haven't.
Judea and
They never have.
Samaria. Okay, 1 second, rape denier. In Judea and Samaria.
At least 569 people, including 50 children, have reportedly been killed so far in the Israeli bombardment of Lebanon. More than 90,000 people have been displaced. Last night, Hezbollah tried and failed to bomb Tel Aviv in its first direct assault on Israel's biggest city. Now, many thousands of people are fleeing southern Lebanon as the UK and the US deploy additional troops to the region. Just about everyone agrees that this looks a lot like all-out war. Where they don't agree is on who is the main aggressor and what can now be done to prevent massive escalation. In a moment, I'll debate that with our panel. But first, joining me in the studio is the Ambassador of Lebanon to the UK, Rami Mortada. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Obviously, I appreciate how incredibly busy you must be right now, so thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, the Saudi ambassador to the UK warned earlier this week the Middle East is the closest it has been to regional war in 50 years. Do you agree with that?
I do. I think he couldn't be more accurate. What we're seeing is another episode of what looks like the Gaza 2.0 war. We're witnessing the same Israeli toolkit of terror, playbook of threats and intimidation, and carpet bombing for a whole country and civilians being slaughtered. Of course, conflicts in the region are very contagious, so the risk for a regional spillover exists. That's why we hope at the earliest to curb this trend and reverse it and find a peaceful settlement.
There are reports, just before we started this interview, that America is pushing hard to try and get a pause in hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah. What do you know about that? Is that likely, do you think?
I think there are extensive efforts being deployed, especially that the ingredients are there. We have a Security Council resolution that is governing the situation in South Lebanon, and that worked well from 2006 up until 2023. So we've always said that we would be ready to put this resolution at the table and discover the different tracks of this resolution and find a settlement that addresses all concerns, because we also have our concerns. We have our civilians that are displaced from South Lebanon. And now an extra layer of complexity has been added with this include this ceasefire in Gaza through opening another front with Lebanon. And this targets American efforts. When Secretary Blinken was in the region, they launched this cyber attack against Lebanon. So it's clear that they're trying to undermine American efforts to conclude a ceasefire in Gaza.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Piers.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, let's debate all that now with my panel, the host of Democracy-ish podcast, Wajah Ali, the Israel Special Envoy for Trade and Innovation, Fleur Hassan, the Iranian-American attorney and activist Elika Lebon, and from the Grey Zone, the journalist Aaron Mate. Well, welcome to all of you. Fleur Hassan Nahum, I just spoke there to the ambassador of Lebanon, extremely concerned about what is happening, and in particular, this breaking news from Israel's army chief that these strikes on Lebanon are in preparation for the possible entry of troops. Is it really a sensible move by Israel to consider another ground war, given what has been going on in Gaza for the past year?
Or was it a sensible move on the 8th of October to start a war from Lebanon into Israel, evacuating 100,000 Israelis who don't live anywhere near 10 kilometers from the border? Why did they start that? There's no territorial claim. What was the point of that? Maybe, and this is what the ambassador, of course, didn't mention, and I'm sure Elika will back me up on this, maybe they're all really the servants of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they're doing their bidding for them. But what's happening at the moment is actually something very curious. And that is that the Islamic Republic of Iran is currently in a charm offensive in New York, and at the same time throwing Hezbollah under the bus for a war that it probably asked them to do in order to help their friend Yahya Sinwar. So the point is this: is Israel supposed to be attacked and not defend itself? Is Israel supposed to go for a ceasefire after its people, its women have been raped, its children have been burnt, and a war has started against them? We've been in this story since 1948 when we were attacked by all the countries around Israel. Today, that has been replaced with Islamic Republic proxies and militias. And this is where we find ourselves. Do we want war? No. We want peace. We're not in Lebanon. He's talking about UN. He's talking about resolutions. It's very simple. If he wants this all to stop, it's very, very simple. Just comply with Resolution 1701, which says very simply this: Hezbollah has to go behind north of the Litani River, and there's not supposed to be any armed terrorist south of the Litani River, and it's all over. The question is not to me. The question is why on the 8th of October, Hezbollah decided to start throwing what is now almost 10,000 missiles into Israel. If the UK, if in Dover, France threw 10,000 missiles from Calais, Piers, what would happen?
Well, I think we would certainly robustly defend ourselves. Let me go to Wajahat Ali for your response there to what Fleur Hassan Nahum was saying and what the ambassador was saying, because clearly there are very strong opinions on both sides here. There have been for the last year. What do you believe is likely to happen next, and what do you think of what is happening?
Yeah, so I think we all agree that nothing justifies the war crimes and terrorism that was done on October 7th. But to Israel, October 7th justifies committing war crimes and terrorism all around the world. Israel sounds like Dr. Strangelove. It sounds like a manic, violent creature right now that has said, this is their quote: "We want de-escalation through escalation." That's like saying no fighting in the war room. That's like saying we will bomb them in order to save them. That's like saying we will find life in death. Israel has already invaded Lebanon in 1982. 15 to 20,000 people were killed, mostly civilians. It wanted to weaken the PLO. You know what happened as a result of that? The PLO was weakened, but something called Hezbollah rose.
God, I'm
Then
gonna
Hamas
fucking
rose.
move this
2006,
shit.
Israel and Lebanon had a war. Many civilians were killed. It was a stalemate. Now, almost a year into the October 7th war and the Gaza war since then, 41,000 Palestinians have been killed, mostly children, Piers, in Gaza. More children have been killed in Gaza than in all the war zones combined in the past 2 years. Israel right now is bombing Lebanon. 27,000 people have been displaced, over 2,000 people injured, over 500 people killed, 50 children killed. To Israel right now, everyone is enemy. Everyone is Hezbollah. Everyone is Hamas, right? Nurses are killed. The refugee camps are killed. I've been talking on your show for the past year. Each time I come on, there's a fresh new horror, right? Palestinians go to the south. You got Palestinians in refugee camps. They're bombed. Children are bombed. Journalists are bombed. Leon Panetta, who was the former CIA director, has said what Israel did in Lebanon, specifically booby-trapping the phones, is an act of terrorism. That's Leon Panetta. The United Nations Commissioner on Human Rights said that same action was a violation of international law. I want to quote him. He said, "It is a war crime to commit violence intended to spread terror among civilians," end quote. So the question for me is, when will the world and when will the United States say enough? It's clear, Pierce, that Benjamin Netanyahu does not care about the hostages. Don't take my word for it. Who are the people protesting Benjamin Netanyahu? The family members of the Israeli hostages in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. This is a recipe for madness, Pierce, for madness. It's a one-year anniversary. Netanyahu wants to escape accountability. He wants to escape the inquiry, asking, how come you didn't stop the war, which, by the way, you knew was going to happen. You knew the attack was going to happen, but he was too busy with his corruption charges. He needs to stay in power to avoid from resigning and possibly going to jail. And also a perpetual war will help the supremacists in his cabinet, like Ben Gvir, who literally is like the member of the KKK, who now is the national security minister, and people like Smotrich, who have openly said, Pierce, that they have a genocidal plan. They want everything, river to the sea, and to push out Palestinians. So I condemn, I'll do this for you, Pierce. I condemn the war crimes. I condemn Hezbollah launching rockets. That's a war crime. I condemn Hamas launching rockets. That's a war crime. Do my panelists condemn the occupation, Israel's killing of civilians, and the war crimes it is committing in Gaza and in Lebanon? I leave it to the panel.
Well, let me ask Elika Lebon. Do you condemn that?
I condemn everything that has been caused by the jihadists, and this is not my opinion. This is based on causal reasoning. You kidnap people and you take them to a different place. What other option does a sovereign nation have but to return its citizens? What else? There's only two options here, right? You either release the hostages or they have to come and be rescued. So the fact that Hamas has stubbornly refused to return these hostages means that Israel has no other choice. And so what you're looking at here is Hamas persistently putting the Palestinian people in a position to be slaughtered in this way. And you know what else that's so much worse than that? When people keep coming up with these numbers, 41,000 people killed. Why? Why are 41,000 people killed? Okay. Why is it not that 41,000 people in Israel have been killed despite all of these attacks? Because Israel invests in protecting its citizens. What does Hamas do? Hamas starts a war and then hides in its terror tunnels, okay, and leaves its civilians, its children vulnerable above the ground to be exploded like cowards hiding in tunnels. So yes, I agree 41,000 is an awful number. First of all, we haven't separated the combatants, but we know that children have been killed, and the children have been killed because of Hamas. Everybody that is being killed is because of jihadists, and there is not one fact that you can make that doesn't start with the jihadists. And when the jihadists bury themselves wherever they are, whether they're in Lebanon, whether they're in Gaza, whether they're in Iran, whether they're in Syria, they are making the people of that nation, the people they are burying themselves amongst, vulnerable to being killed in this way. So yes, I absolutely condemn those deaths, and I absolutely blame the jihadists for that. And first of all, to go back to this claim that Hezbollah never started this war, from the 8th of October, okay, started launching, by this point, over 11,000 rockets into Israel. 96,000 people in northern Israel have been displaced. 10% of Israel's landmass has been depopulated, okay, 11 months deep. What is it exactly that you expect Israel to do? At this point, civilians are out of their homes, children are out of their schools. What do you expect Israel to do in the final instance where there is a precision strike on Hezbollah terrorists, okay? Hezbollah terrorists. The world wants to claim that this is an international war crime. Like, what should Israel do? Just bend over and keep accepting it? None of these things are acceptable to you people. Targeted strikes, unacceptable. Pages, unacceptable. What is acceptable to stop these terrorists from persistently and belligerently attacking Israel? And to make the claim, first of all, to make the claim that they are doing this on behalf of the Palestinians is absolutely outrageous. You want to say that, oh, we're fighting for the Palestinians because of the occupation in this oppressive military state. What about Hezbollah's oppressive military state? What about Hezbollah's state within a state that has undermined Lebanon's sovereignty? What about the fact that Hezbollah goes to Syria and massacres people on behalf of Assad? What about the fact that Hezbollah goes to Iran and massacres, rapes innocent Iranians? So why don't we just say that everything that Israel's doing is in behalf of the innocent Iranians, the innocent Syrians, and the innocent Lebanese? You know why you don't say that? Because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It is a red herring. It is a red herring to claim that Hezbollah is acting on behalf of Palestinians when what they're doing is exactly what they said in their charter, which the Islamic Republic created them for, which is to create a second Islamic Republic in Lebanon and to destroy Israel. That is their goals. It is time to be honest about that.
Okay.
Didn't hear a condemnation of Israel's war crimes there.
Oh, I absolutely did. What I said was that the jihadists are to blame by the laws of causal reasoning.
All right, let me bring in Aaron Marty. Aaron, we are nearly a year into this war in Gaza. It now looks increasingly likely there might be another phase of this war erupting, or already has erupted in Lebanon. The question I have wrestled with since October the 7th is not whether Israel has a right to defend itself if it's attacked, but what is the proportionate response which should be tolerated of a nation that comes under that attack. And that's setting aside the history of the conflict.
That looks all right, right?
As they were on October the 7th, you obviously have to fight back hard, particularly as Hamas said, we're going to keep doing this. If Hezbollah wants to respond to what happened on October the 7th by within hours, unleashing rockets at Israel and carrying on doing that for the next year, again, Israel has a right to defend itself. The question is, what is proportionate? Do you accept, first of all, Aaron, that Israel has a right, if not a duty,
they're pretty close
to
to
its people
the top,
to
but
defend itself? And
I
if
can
you
stretch
accept
them
that,
out
then what is
like right now I
proportionate?
have
Who
them like
determines that?
pretty close together, but I can stretch them out like really far if I wanted
Every
to.
state, including Israel, has the right to defend itself, but let's examine what that right entails. If we're talking about October 7th, when yes, some Hamas militants committed atrocities, they're on camera. There was a claim before, by the way, that there was rape by Hamas. There actually isn't evidence for a single case of rape, even 1 year later, and I'm happy to debate that.
I've got to. I'm sorry.
But
I've got to stop.
Hold on a second.
No,
hold on
I
a second.
have to correct you there. I have seen.
Can I finish my point?
There has been
Can I talk for
widespread
once?
evidence of rape and sexual abuse against women on October the 7th.
There hasn't. There actually hasn't. We'll debate that some other time. We'll debate that some other time.
Yeah,
I'm going to finish my point.
These are nice.
There is not a single shred of evidence for it, but we'll debate that some other time. Listen, we're talking about October 7th. Israel has the right on October 7th to defend its people. Let me finish my... Piers, every time I come on here, I can't talk.
Okay,
Let
but
me
look,
talk.
to be fair,
I'm talking.
Aaron,
I didn't interrupt you.
Just got them off of Amazon. That's pretty nice. It's perfect. It's in my room. I think I might raise it just a tad bit. That's about it. It's pretty fucking good. Looks nice and sleek. Oh. Yeah. Let me see. 1920 by 1080. Well, I'm not using them as gaming monitors. I just needed 2 extra screens. Fuck is the Allen key? Okay. Oh shit.
Well, let's debate all
What
that
are
now
yours?
with my panel. Host of Democracy, Hassan, Iranian American attorney and activist Elika Lebon, and from the Grey Zone, the journalist Aaron Mate. Well, welcome to all of you. Fleur Hassan Nahum, I just spoke there to the ambassador of Lebanon, extremely concerned about what is happening, and in particular, this breaking news from Israel for the next.
Hold on a second.
No,
hold on
I have to correct you there. I have seen.
Can I finish my point?
There has been
Can I talk
widespread
for once?
evidence of rape and sexual abuse against women on October the 7th.
There hasn't. There actually hasn't. We'll debate that some other time. I'm going to finish my point. There is not a single shred of evidence for it, but we'll debate some other time. Listen, we're talking about October 7th. Let me finish my. Here, every time I come on here, I can't talk.
Okay,
Let
but
me
look,
talk.
to be fair,
I'm
to be
talking.
fair, Aaron,
I didn't interrupt you.
Aaron, okay. No,
I
Alex, let me
didn't
deal with
interrupt
this.
anybody.
Aaron, look what I would say.
Not gonna
You
be-
say
I'm
every
just
time you
using
come on
it
and this happens, but you just
as,
started
extra
with an
monitors.
unbelievably inflammatory and incorrect statement, which is that there was no sexual abuse of women on October the 7th. There are multiple
We'll debate that some
credible
other time.
reports of sexual
It's a
abuse
fact.
and rape.
No. Okay. There's not. Anyway, listen. If we're talking about October 7th, I'm going to finish my sentence.
Let him speak, please.
Okay, I didn't interrupt you. They said multiple inflammatory things. I didn't interrupt them. Thank you.
All right. Finish your
If
point.
we're talking about on October 7th, yes.
Let him speak, Alex,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you.
107.
If we're talking about on October 7th, yes, Israel has the right to defend its civilians if they're attacked. Okay, but Israel is an occupying power, and it's been an occupying power for decades. Occupiers don't have the right to defend their occupation. Israel doesn't have the right to fire a single bullet into Gaza. It has obligations. Occupiers have obligations. And if Israel wanted peace and security,
we're losing defense.
join the entire world, join the International Court of Justice, Israel doesn't have the right to control a single inch of the West Bank or Gaza and end the occupation and address its decades-long attacks on Palestinians and also Lebanese, because, as was previously said, Israel invaded Lebanon in 1982, killed tens of thousands of people, and that's why Hezbollah was formed. If Israel wanted genuine peace and security, and it wanted to defend itself, it would stop brutalizing other people. And this claim was made before. What was Israel supposed to do in response to its people being kidnapped? That's the logic of October 7th, because there are thousands of Palestinians who have been brutalized and kidnapped in Israeli prisons. Hamas launched October 7th to free them. The difference between Israel and Hamas is that Hamas actually has an argument, because Hamas has tried I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you, please.
I wasn't lying.
Hamas has tried to accept you were actually. Hamas has tried to accept the global consensus of a two-state solution, a big compromise for Palestinians, accepting just 22% of their homeland in the West Bank and Gaza. Israel's refused to join the rest of the world in accepting that two-state solution. Even Iran has voiced at times support for that. It's only Israel and the U.S. that insist on Israel's right to put Gaza under siege and steal Palestinian land in the West Bank, and that's why you have this continued escalation. Hezbollah intervened on October 8th because they wanted to show Israel that there would be costs for committing mass murder, which is what Israel has done. And that's why Hezbollah was involved. Hezbollah said from the start it would stop its rockets if Israel stopped committing mass murder. Israel, unfortunately, is more committed to mass murder because it insists on the right to control that entire land and not accept Palestinians as equal human beings. That's the fundamental problem here.
Okay. Fleur Hassan Nahum, I mean,
I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. First of all, he's talking about mass murder on October 8th. We were attacked on October 7th. We hadn't even gone in on October 8th. So I really don't understand what you're talking about. Secondly,
you were waging the longest military occupation in the world.
Yes, well, let's go to that. In 2005, Israel left the Gaza Strip. Now, at that point, the Gazans could have done one of two things. Turn it into a wonderful pilot for a Palestinian state, which you think they want, and I don't believe they actually do. And instead, they turned it into Mogadishu, into Beirut, as it were. Instead of investing in its people, they invested in tunnels to attack and to use their people as human shields. That's just a fact. Tell me, why did they not build a beautiful place in 2005 until today? You know why? Because Hamas is not interested in a state. Hamas is interested in destroying the Jewish state. And that is the crux of the conflict. And you're on the wrong side of history. One day you're going to wake up and realize this. At the bottom line is that the conflict is not because there isn't a Palestinian state. The conflict is because there's Jewish state that has never been accepted. And that's why in 1947, they didn't accept the partition plan. And that is why after Oslo in 2000, they didn't accept the two-state solution. We gave them 93% of the West Bank and the entire Gaza. That's why in 2009, an even more generous peace deal, and they didn't accept it. And the bottom line is this. They don't want a state. They want, and they're invested emotionally, logistically, and militarily in the destruction of the state of Israel. Israel wants to live in peace. We don't want to rule another people.
Okay, but Fleur, all right, Fleur, let me ask you this. All right, hang on, please. Hang on, let me ask a question.
Are Arabs
no, Fleur,
in our
let me ask you a question.
That live side by side with Jews.
Yeah, Fleur, here's what I don't get about what you've just said. Is that you talk about destruction and the threat of destruction. And I get that. Hamas is wedded to destroying Israel, as are Hezbollah.
It's in their charter.
Fine. But what is Israel doing right now in Gaza? You are destroying it. You're destroying Gaza, and you're killing tens of thousands of people in the process. I mean, you are destroying Gaza in the most extraordinarily brutal manner. And you're going after... You're going after... Let me finish, please. You're going after Hamas now in the very areas where you told the civilian population to go to. And in the process, you're killing a lot of innocent people. How can that be justified?
Hamas went into the humanitarian corridors because that's what they do. Exactly what Alex says. That is their modus operandi. They don't build tunnels under schools.
Well, if you know that, why do you send people to these specific areas?
We send them areas thinking that those areas are going to be areas we're not going to attack, and then Hamas throws rockets at us and attack us. Look, ultimately we want two things. We want the dismantlement of Hamas, who is an existential threat to the state of Israel, and we want Hamas. If that happens in an hour, it's over. If Hezbollah moves north of the Litani in an hour, it's over. And both of you are in the wrong side of history here, because the Islamic Republic of Iran was the big puppet master of all of this. They've got much wider ambitions in Israel. They're going to be coming everywhere. They are the Hitler of the 1930s, and that is what we're facing. So you keep deluding yourself. This is about Israel. And what a coincidence, the only Jewish state in the world, and somehow we're the aggressors. You know what? Thousands of years we've heard the same libels that we're hearing right now. This is just another form of it, but we will survive and we will prevail, because bigger people than the Islamic Republic of Iran and bigger people than the enemies that we now face have tried to destroy us, and we're still here.
Okay, why Jahan? I mean, look, I have a lot of issues with what Israel is doing in Gaza. I have issues about the way they're rapidly escalating what they're doing in Lebanon. But I also have a massive issue with what Hamas represent and what they represent to Israelis and what Hezbollah represent, because they make no pretense. They want to destroy Israel. They want to get rid of Israel. And if you are Israel and you're an Israeli living in Israel, they represent an existential threat to your existence. What else is Israel supposed to do? Sit back and let these people destroy them, or defend themselves as best they can? I mean, that seems to me to be at the crux of the Israeli side of this, which is, what else are they supposed to do?
So the Israeli side is de-escalation through escalation, perpetual war, occupation, put the boots on their neck, mow the lawn, destroy all of our terrorists, right? Okay, I get it. Has it worked? No. They invaded Lebanon in 1982. 15 to 20,000 people, mostly civilians, were killed. War crimes happened to the point where Ronald Reagan was so disgusted by what he saw, he picked up the phone and told him to stop it. They wanted to weaken the PLO at that time. Remember Arab nationalism? Okay, PLO got weakened. What came out as a result? Hezbollah. What came out afterwards? Hamas. What will keep coming out are violent extremist groups until Israel stops its violent, illegal occupation of Palestinians. Hamas does not control the West Bank. You know how many people have been killed in the past year in the West Bank? 600 people. Violent extremist settlers have been given a free reign to kill Palestinians, and as you know, Piers, we talked about on your show, Benjamin Netanyahu has yet again crossed another red line of Biden and said, I'm going to expand settlements, which are also illegal.
Which I think, which by the way, which I think is completely disgraceful. I think the willful, deliberate expansion of the settlements during the past year is disgusting and should not be happening, and is another reason for me why Netanyahu should not be leading Israel. I think it's...
And also, the one thing that the one thing for safety and security, right? Because I think you and me, and I think some people on this panel, wants safety and security for Israelis, for Palestinians, for Muslims, for Christians, for the region. The one thing Israel has never tried, it has always tried military solutions. They've always failed. I can give you a brief history. We can go back longer if we want. Military solutions have always failed. You know the one thing it has never tried? Ending the occupation, giving Palestinians the right to self-determination. If it ends the occupation,
yeah, but so I would say this. I would say
there will be
hang on, don't all talk, please. Hang on, let me handle this.
So I'm gonna
here's
have,
what I would say to that.
Technically, I could have up to 4
Hamas
monitors because I have 2 laptops.
The chance to show what they would do if they
have
ran
it set up so
Gaza
I have the
in 2005.
the laptop
And
is one
Hamas,
screen,
ever
and
since
then
then,
the 2
spent
others are
billions of
going to be
dollars
extensions.
that was given to them on building a highly
have,
sophisticated tunnel
a lot
network
more
for which they could basically operate
monitor
as a
space or whatever.
organization, which is wedded from their charter to destroying Israel. So they have had the chance of Israel. No, hang on. I would say this. I still believe that Israel has had a form of occupation since then over Gaza, because they've had the ability, as we saw at the start of the war, to turn off the power, to turn off the water supply, to control what
Have you ever watched shit on your monitors?
But they did give Hamas the chance to show what they would do if they were governed.
Yeah.
And I can't believe there is any Palestinian in Gaza that
Just,
thinks that
like,
Hamas did
it's too
anything
risky.
but squander that opportunity in the most brazen and despicable manner, culminating in this outrageous attack last October, which was always going to goad Israel into this kind of response. If you go and kill 1,200 people in Israel in the manner they killed them and boast about it to the world through your GoPro cameras, actually showing what you're doing to women and children, the Holocaust survivors, you kidnap over 200 people, including a newborn baby, for God's sake. If you do all that and you wound nearly 7,000 more, many of them irreparably, then you are going to get a massive response. Hamas knew that, and they knew that the casualties would be thousands of their own people. Why would you do that? Why do that? So I come back to, I have problems with everybody in this story, right? I really do. Because
as you should,
yeah,
as you should. I agree with you.
But
Israel,
these are the
listen,
issues. These are the issues
disproportionate.
These are the issues on the Hamas Hezbollah side. I just can't. I don't see the answer. If you're ready to destroy it, yeah, Alika, Let me bring in Alika.
So the entire arguments that are being made here are based on revisionist history. That's first things first.
So how do you have
even
your
the
2
way
monitors
that
set
you
up?
frame
Is it just
Hezbollah as the victim, as the
like one
non-aggressor,
monitor,
where
just
you frame Israel
like
as
an open Chrome
escalating
page or
despite
whatever,
Hezbollah's
and then the other is your
repeated history
gaming?
of aggression, okay? First of all, the way you even describe Hezbollah's inception is wrong. Let's talk about Hezbollah's inception, which was after the 1979 revolution. Let me finish. After the 1979 revolution in Iran, Hezbollah, okay, was inspired by this, and Assad visited Iran and asked Khomeini, what can we do for you? Khomeini said, give me a passage to Syria, to Lebanon, so I can export my radical ideologies over to Lebanon. They did that, and then they started killing the Shiite Muslims in the north of Lebanon while there was an invasion by Israel from the south. Why was there an invasion from the south? There was an invasion because the PLO were in southern Lebanon firing rockets into Israel after they just got expelled from Jordan because they were doing the same thing, hijacking planes, okay, landing them on revolutionary airports, blowing them up in front of international media. Then they go to southern Lebanon and they start destroying internal political dynamics in southern Lebanon. Now we have the Christian Maronites and the Muslims fighting each other in the first Lebanon civil war, okay? They destroyed Lebanon from within just because of the desire to launch its rockets from Lebanon into Israel. Then it went up to Beirut and started fighting with the Christian Maronites to assert domination in Lebanon. Why? Because they are jihadists. And then what happens in 1978, which is the first invasion of Israel into Lebanon. Why? Because the PLO did an attack on a bus in Israel that killed 38 people. Israel goes in to try and take out the PLO. And then the UN requires them to retreat. And they retreat. And then they send their UN interim forces for Lebanon, okay, to take out the PLO. The UN runs away and the PLO comes back, continues its attack, okay? The second invasion into Lebanon, because of the continued attacks, they go in once more.
It's actually
and because the PLO
reading a
doesn't
rule
leave,
like
they
that
have
maybe
to create this occupation, right? And then as soon as they removed the occupation in 2000 with Ehud Barak and Clinton,
it'd be nice
what
if they
happens
weren't
is
like
that
that, honestly.
Hezbollah advances to the border of
I wish
Israel
they did
and
something
starts
to prevent
attacking
that.
again. And then comes the UN resolution
Like a cooldown or some shit.
1701 requiring not only that Hezbollah stays 10 kilometers back from the northern border,
I think this game...
but also that all of these militias in Lebanon have to disband, and there can only be a militarized Lebanese government. Israel abided. Who did not abide? Hezbollah.
What I'm saying is that
for 18 years in the zone,
Yeah.
they were not allowed to be. They expanding their military capacity up to 200,000 munitions, and then finally on October 8th started attacking. And then when Israel responded with that paper attack, why did they do that? Why did they do that? Because the commanders, the leaders of Hezbollah, had a plan to attack northern Galilee and do a second October 7th, kidnap hostages with a ground invasion. Now you tell me, what should Israel do?
You're gonna have to write. Okay. Well,
Escalation through escalation.
Okay, hang on. I'll go to Aaron. Let Aaron Marte respond to that. What Israel's supposed to do in that eventuality?
Hey, Brock, are you in this book?
Is for the first time in its history abandoned its quest for regional domination and supremacy. Starting in 1947, just a brief tour through history. Yes, Israel accepted partition publicly. Palestinians didn't.
Why just take this up to
partition of your land, which is being stolen by foreigners.
Yeah,
but
E7
privately, Israeli leaders,
top
including
left,
David Ben-Gurion, said, "We won't accept partition. We'll define for ourselves what our borders are."
Yeah, we get
and that's why they proceeded to expel hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, including into Lebanon, creating this crisis. They refused to address that.
So we can build
Instead of addressing their expulsion of Palestinians theft of their land, they've stolen more. In 1967, in 1982, the reason Israel invades Lebanon, the PLO was there. The PLO at that time was joining the rest of the world in accepting a compromise of a Palestinian state. Google the Arab Peace Initiative. It's been many times to Israel. Israel's been offered by all the Arab states and the PLO, with even Iran joining them and accepting this. Everybody recognizing Israel, everybody making peace in exchange for Israel ending its occupation of the West Bank. That's a major compromise for Palestine. Israel is so hell-bent on domination, occupation, and supremacy. It's refused even to accept.
By the way, that's what we were doing on the
when Hamas tried to join that after 2005, when Israel withdrew, Israel still put Gaza under a complete siege, prevented any basic goods from getting in, carried out routine massacres. Even when Hamas leaders, including Ismail Haniyeh, who Israel recently killed, said, "We will accept the Palestinian state." Israel will not accept it because Israel wants to dominate that region. That's the fundamental problem here. And it was previously said, as long as Israel insists on supremacy and occupation, people are going to resist it. People will resist it. It's true. Google the Arab Peace Initiative, 2002. Google it.
2000. What happened with the Clinton parameters, 2001?
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. You know what? I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. The former Israeli Foreign Minister, Shlomo Ben-Ami, who was there at Camp David, do you know what he said? He was there at Camp David. This is the foreign minister who made the Camp David offer. He said, if I were Palestinian, I would have rejected Camp David as well. You know why? Because he recognized that Israel insisted on keeping the major West Bank settlement blocks that make a Palestinian state impossible. That's the fundamental problem here. You don't see Palestinians as equal human beings, and you reserve the right to steal their land. And that's why you're interrupting me, because you can't handle the truth. That's the problem here. Stop being a supremacist, stop stealing land, and you can have peace.
Here, just go to 2024. Can I just say one quick thing?
Okay, let me bring you one, Jihad, please.
Just one quick thing. One quick thing. Let's go to 2024. Let's just go to this year.
Yes.
Who has rejected 2 states? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Who has crossed every single one of President Biden's lines? Netanyahu. Who has said he's going to continue occupying the West Bank? Netanyahu. Who has said he's going to continue expanding settlements? Netanyahu. Who has put the worst, most extreme, radical, right-wing members of the Jewish public in his cabinet, people like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, who are openly genocidal? Prime Minister Netanyahu. Who has continued bombing civilians, like you mentioned, Piers, right? Told these Palestinians to go to the south, it's a safe zone, and bomb that safe zone? Netanyahu. There has been a peace deal. On the table, President Biden announced it in the summer. He said it was Israel's plan. He said ceasefire, return of hostages, humanitarian aid. Who has rejected it since
You're right, try not to.
Netanyahu. Who is protesting Netanyahu?
Yeah, try not to keep going right till we get here.
Realize he does not care. He does actually protesting this war in Lebanon? The family members of the hostages, because they realize if this war, God forbid, expands, it means that their family members won't come back. When there was a temporary ceasefire in November,
Let's get set up over here on this house wall right there.
Israeli hostages came back. Since then, less than 10. And when all is said and done, Pierce, most likely Israel will have accidentally killed more of its Israeli hostages through this war than it has saved. So, the buck is right now with Netanyahu, and as we have discussed on your show, he's a corrupt criminal who has 80% of the public against him, mass protests, and he realizes if the war ends, he will have to resign, the government will fall apart, and he will likely, most likely go to jail, so war will have de-escalation through escalation. It's a recipe for genocide.
I have a question for you that's actually a very important question. You're saying that this two-state solution should be accepted, okay? We've seen through this history of the occupation of the West Bank, first of all, the occupation has foiled...
Thank you for admitting a tank's pulling up.
Wait. At least 500 terrorist attacks in 2022. Now, before the Second Intifada, there were actually no checkpoints, okay? There were no checkpoints. And then after the Palestinians rejected the Camp David summit, which actually offered to remove the entire occupation,
Hey, go ahead and swap. Flacco and Brock. Swap sides. After we record, yeah, we'll do a re-record. Just swap roles, Brock, and we're gonna resupply from Flacco.
After that,
Here, hold on. Hit escape, go to redeploy. Yeah, just hit escape, and then hit redeploy, and then change loadout, and then Flacco.
There was a second intifada that killed over 1,000 Israelis in Tel Aviv, and then the checkpoints were installed. Okay, so my question to you is that you want to end the occupation. Everyone wants to end the occupation. What is happening? In fact, one of those proposals was that the PLO would help to foil terrorist attacks going into Israel. You know why that's so important? Because of the topography of the land, where the West Bank is on a higher plane, okay, which is strategically at an advantage to throw rockets into Israel. And so Israel asked the PLO to collaborate with the Shin Bet to prevent those terrorist attacks happening. Now, you want a two-state solution. Let me ask you, from the jihadist perspective, where is their commitment to stop the terrorism if the occupation is removed? Just like it was removed from Gaza, and then instantly Hamas started firing rockets back into Israel.
Yeah, you see, let me put that to Wajah, because I think it's a reason
I kill you and just switch
Israel did everything that you urged them to do. We're still left with Hamas and Hezbollah, two terror groups who are wedded
Swift rifle
via their
charter, so we can get supplies, so we can get area.
In both cases, that they are wedded to the eradication of Israel. Nothing changes just because Israel decides to say, we end the occupation, we end this, we end that, we give you everything you want. It's not going to change the ideology of people that want to destroy them, is it? Or is it? Are Hamas and Hezbollah suddenly going to go, you know what? Thanks very much. We're now going to have peace. Makes no sense.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
They're living in La La Land.
Ending the occupation. I'll answer.
Let Wajah answer.
I've always tried to answer in good faith. Ending the occupation will be the game changer. Giving people freedom will be a game changer. Everyone, every single person on earth that has ever been occupied has resisted the occupation. As you have seen, look, they first went after PLO. PLO got weakened. Then Hezbollah came. Suppose they destroy Hezbollah, which they won't. Suppose they'll destroy Hamas. It's been a year. They won't. It's the idea of a resistance, and I agree with you. They're acting in a way which is terroristic and also commits war crimes. The idea will persist as long as you keep occupying. The one thing Israel has never done is stop the occupation. And number two, throughout its entire history, especially after Oslo, you know what's it's increased? Illegal settlements in the West Bank. What's the excuse? Hamas doesn't run the West Bank. It is expanding the West Bank settlements. And for those who don't know it, imagine like Swiss cheese, right? There's holes in the Swiss cheese. The holes are the settlements expanding. What's left is this barely, you've seen this here, so you know the map, this pathetic small piece of land that's left for the Palestinians. So no matter what happens, I'm sorry to say this, Palestinians are screwed. Yet still they say, fine, give us this pathetic moth-eaten ridden land because you have expanded the settlements. We'll still take it. Give us freedom. At the end of the day, every single group on earth wants freedom. And that's the one thing The one thing Israel refuses to do
Okay, let
is
me
to give
let me bring in.
Palestinians
Hang on.
freedom.
Let me bring in Fleur here.
Let them be free.
Let me bring in Fleur. Right. So I want to ask you this, Fleur. You can respond, but I want to ask you this: why should Palestinians not be afforded the exact same human rights as Israelis?
They want their land, or do they want to be part of Israel? That's my question to you.
No, I've asked you a question. Why should they not?
You've asked
Why should they not, in principle?
Do they want their own state?
Why should they,
my question is,
Fleur,
do they want
answer the
this
question.
state?
Why should they not be entitled to the same human rights you have and that I have?
They should.
But they don't have them.
They absolutely should, but they
Oslo, because we're talking like we're talking as if Israel hadn't tried 5 times already to create a state. That's how we're talking here. So what happened in Oslo? In Oslo,
Yes, because it's
the
not
West
true.
Bank,
They haven't.
Judea and
They never
Samaria.
have.
Okay, 1 second, rape denier. In Judea and Samaria, Judea and Samaria was split into Area A, B, and C. The majority of Palestinian cities, where the majority of the Palestinian population live, are in Area A's and B. The areas that we're talking about, really, about Swiss cheese and all these metaphors that you all like to use, is Area C, where the least amount of Palestinians live. Now, if they really wanted autonomy, and Tony Blair was here for about 10 years trying to create state institutions, and he failed. Why did he fail? Because you either have murderous terrorist groups or you have corruption. Why did Hania have $4 billion? Why did Mahmoud Abbas have private jets? Why are his sons billionaires? Why? Because all of the money that the West has given these entities, these government entities, to create a state, to start creating state institutions, to do better for their people, to create an economy, all of that has gone into the pockets. So what do we have? We have a Palestinian leadership which is either believes in the destruction of the state of Israel, or the ones who don't, they just steal. So what are you left with? I really want a Palestinian Mandela. I really want a Palestinian Gandhi. I want to live in peace. I don't want to rule another people, and nobody in Israel does.
Yo,
but
dog,
what
what
do we
would you
get
do
every time we try to give it territorial
your dad,
compromise? We get terror cells and murder.
adopted
What happened
like
after
an
the 2000
illegal
Oslo deal? What
Haitian
happened?
migrant,
What happened was
and
the
he gave the
Second
Chevelle to that guy
Intifada.
instead
Thousands
of
of
you.
people, Jews and Arabs, in the city of Jerusalem, in my city, dead
He
on
gave
the
the Chevelle
street.
to the
Terrorism
illegal
in
migrant
cafes and
instead
in
of you.
buses. Why did that happen? If the terms weren't great, then why didn't Arafat continue negotiating? And I'll tell you this, and I'll repeat it again, because the problem of this conflict is not that a Palestinian state doesn't exist. It's that a Jewish state exists, and they've never, ever ideologically accepted it. And why do I know? Because they keep telling me. Because they have charters. Because that's their constitution. And that's the educational system. And that's the media. Enough with Google. Don't you read anything else?
All right, listen.
Yeah, Google Arab League Peace Initiative.
Okay, listen.
Google Arab League. That's the Arab League offering Israel full normalization.
Hang on,
of
everyone.
occupation. If you want to talk about Palestinian Mandelas, okay, excuse me. If you want to talk about Palestinian Mandelas, they exist. For example, in March 2018, thousands of Palestinian Mandelas marched peacefully in Gaza in the Great March of Return, calling for their basic rights. What did Israel do? It gunned them down with snipers, maiming people.
They were Hamas
That's the
terrorists.
Palestinian Mandela. Yeah,
They
but
were
they're people of Gaza who've been besieged for
Palestinian
decades,
Mandelas
wanting their
and
basic
Hamas.
rights.
Are you saying the
You have
Palestinian Mandelas and Hamas?
complete-
Have you ever been to Gaza? Honestly, you people are
They're
talking
the
like
people.
armchair
Yes, I have been to
activists.
Gaza. Yes, I have.
Okay, sure.
I have been to Gaza actually, and
You know
I've
what?
met
I
the
can
people
answer
there.
your question.
who wanna
Lucky you're
live
not
their
a woman
lives.
then.
They've never been given the chance. Okay, can I talk now?
No, they've
Can I
never
talk
been
now?
given the
I've
chance.
been to
2005 never
Gaza.
gave them that chance. Stop infantilizing the Palestinian
Okay,
leadership and their people.
I'm going to talk now. I'm going to speak now. You've had your time to spew your propaganda. I'll say it again. Israel has never accepted the fundamental premise that Palestinians have the right to self-determination. That's why it rejected multiple Arab League peace offers endorsed by Iran and Hamas, and members of Hamas, not all of them, but some of the leadership, including Ismail Haniyeh, calling for a Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza. That's a big compromise for Palestinians. That's just 22% of the land that you stole, which they're willing to accept. But Israel is so hell-bent on occupying and stealing land, it won't even accept the Palestinian surrender. You don't want a Palestinian Mandela.
Surrender.
Yeah. lazy. Damn.
You want to
surrender?
keep subjugating Palestinians.
What are you talking about?
dog.
You're living in your own planet where Islamic fundamentalism does not exist in your planet.
You're the
Islamic
fundamentalist.
fundamentalism doesn't
You
exist in your
insist
planet.
stealing other
Where are
people's
you
land.
living?
You're the
Where are you
fundamentalist.
living?
Okay, time out. Time out. I think
It's time for you to shut up and listen to the
was when he was asked directly, basically whether Nancy Pelosi had stabbed him in the back to make him quit. This was the response.
Did you feel that your hand was forced, and what is your relationship with Speaker Pelosi now?
Our relationship is fine. Look, I never fully believed the assertions that somehow there was this overwhelming reluctance of my running again. My polling was about where, we're always within range of beating this guy. I was confident I would beat Trump. He's a loser.
I mean, Kat, continually disingenuous, this whole thing, because everyone knows what happened. Everybody knows Nancy Pelosi went to him and basically said, we do this the easy way or the hard way. And he only stepped aside because they were going to go public and take him down. And his response when he's asked about Pelosi, I thought pretty much confirmed that. From what I've read, they haven't spoken since. Are they still just playing a bit of a game with everyone?
I don't know. I think it seemed to almost indicate that he's afraid of her a little bit.
Yes.
I thought it was almost kind of adorable in a way. If someone had pushed me out of a presidency, I probably wouldn't be as nice about it, which means that whatever way he was pushed out is something that still affects him. I've always been, I disagree with her on so many things. I think that she's corrupt for so many reasons, but you do have to respect the level of power and fear that she instills in people.
Yeah.
She's extremely powerful. People are terrified of her. She runs things, and she does it with a sweet little smile. He still won't say anything. He's still saying, oh, I think, it also is quite sad that he's still saying that there's no evidence that, he couldn't have beat Trump, when really, we all saw what happened.
It's interesting, because there's another clip which I'll play, which is where he, Whoopi Goldberg calls Trump a bug, and then Biden responds. Take a look at this.
Then he just wouldn't. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. So you felt.
No, Emily, the reality of that is the other way around. I mean, Biden was the bug of the United States got completely flattened by, well, mainly himself and his inept performance, but also by Trump. So it's a kind of rewriting of history, albeit using little insects to do it.
I think it's safe, we can all agree, bipartisanly, that we knew what to expect come this interview. It was a very softball, fluff piece, non-hard-hitting interview that basically flattered Biden. He's not running for re-election. They were very low stakes. I think it was more of a feel-good piece. But Pierce, that clip, what I took away from it was the insensitivity of that joke. You're saying that Trump is a bug, a fly, and you want to kill it. This is the same man who there were just 2 assassination attempts that actually shots were fired at him. So to make a joke that you want to kill it, the annoying bug flying in the room, and then they question why we say that the Democrats spread this dangerous rhetoric about Donald Trump that leads to these assassination attempts, that's the proof of exactly what it was. Now, the worst part is Biden did that so innocently, and he wasn't keen and sharp enough to understand how badly timed that joke was.
You know what, Francesca, I hadn't thought of it like that. It's just happened. But when Emily says that, the way she says it, she's got a point, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think that should be your lead.